Hello everyone, welcome back. So this is episode 5 of season 1, and today we'll be discussing our second theme, that is farmer and agriculture. This is again a recurrent theme and which is widely seen in UPSC as well as other state PCS examinations. So we'll look into it. Next please. So, a little bit about myself. Once again, I'm Alok. I've appeared for this exam for all 6 attempts. I've given 4 interviews and 5 mains, and I was allotted IPTAF service in year 2019. And as far as essay is concerned, I have scored decent marks in all my attempts. Highest being 160 and right up to 149, 143, 149. Moving forward. A quick recap of what we have done until now. So we have had 3 introductory sessions wherein we try to explain various nuances of writing a good essay. So in the first one, it was why essay is important. Why essay paper is being asked in almost all competitive examinations that we see today, be it UPSC, BPSC, UPPCS, or any other state public service examinations. You will see essay exam featuring. Then we had discussed how essays have one of the highest return on investment if we can devote a little bit more time and a sufficient time on this. We will do much better in essays. Then on the second session, we had discussed 3 pillars. That was how we write good introduction, good body, and good conclusion. What all these 3 pillars actually try to what they actually entail, and how do we write good pillars. And then at the very end, the third introductory session, we had discussed on how do we enrich our essays, what are the various things or various ways in which we can enrich our essay to make it a more specific and a learned essay rather than being a generalist one. So in the fourth session, that was the theme one that we had taken was related to science and technology. We had discussed this theme. All of you who are seeing this video, I hope you have seen all the other four videos earlier. If not, please try to go and see those videos because they have an inherent link with this. Okay, next. So as we have discussed, we have taken 14 major themes, and there are some other themes that have been suggested by you guys on Telegram channel or on the comment section. We will definitely try to bring up more themes. So we had discussed science and technology. Today it is agriculture and farmers. Next. So theme 2 for today is agriculture and farmer. So we have seen various topics over the years featuring in various public service commission examinations. For example, from green revolution to digital farming, is Indian agriculture ready for the next leap? Was one of the topic in UPSC. Small and marginal farmers in India, challenges and opportunities in the era of globalized markets. How can e-technology transform agriculture and empower farmers in India? Then again, doubling farmers' income, a dream to be realized, was asked in one of the state PCS examinations. Agriculture in the backdrop of climate change, resilience, adaptation, and farmer livelihood. I have taken a bit of liberty and chosen one of the topic, and I have specifically discussed this theme about how climate change and agriculture are interlinked. One last, from farm to fork, how agriculture sector is riddled with various challenges and opportunities. So today we have chosen one topic wherein we will try to discuss agriculture theme as a whole. The topic today is Indian agriculture, massive opportunity riddled with humongous challenges. Okay. So the thesis statement goes like this: Indian agriculture holds immense potential to drive rural prosperity, food security, and export-led growth. Yet it remains shackled by structural inefficiencies, fragmented landholdings, climate vulnerabilities, and policy distortions that demand urgent and systematic reforms. So the topic is more or less about how an agriculture sector is a big area of opportunity. While although there is this opportunity, but that opportunity is not straightforward, as it is riddled by various challenges. Next. So the core idea or the essence of the topic is there are two key terms, that is massive opportunity riddled with humongous challenges, both in red. Massive opportunity means the potential strengths and the prospects of Indian agriculture, such as employment generation, export, food security, agri-tech, rural growth, climate system, climate smart farming, etc. Riddled with challenges means points that to the deep structural problems, like how the productivity is low in India, how there is very much land fragmentation and small land holdings, water scarcity is there, farmer distress, market failures, all these problems are there, input cost inflation is there, policy inconsistencies are there. Next, please. So the topic in itself is a paradox. So we understand what a paradox is. So the topic is a paradox. Agriculture is both a great opportunity and a great challenge for India. So this essay demands you to examine both the sides of the paradox, opportunities and challenges. Explain why this paradox exists. Okay, root causes kya hai uske, and discuss how do we convert these challenges into opportunities. So we have to give a solution approach, right? We as civil servants are bound to are expected to give a solution approach. Okay, moving forward. So back please. So as usual, we have in this topic as well, we have there are three options that again we have come up with three introductions, like as in earlier topics. We have come up with three introductions. So the first option will be can be the historical or evolution one, from the granaries of the Indus Valley civilization to the Green Revolution triumph. Indian agriculture has been the backbone of civilization and survival. Yet in the 21st century, while India leads in food grain production, her farmers still battle uncertain monsoons, how in and low incomes and rising input costs. The story of Indian agriculture today is of is that of a field fertile with opportunities but fraught with formidable challenges. Okay, so this can be one of the start. So what I'm trying to convey here is, see, we were once called Sone ki Chidiya, and this prowess that we had got or whatever at one point of time in history we had commanded more than 25% of the global GDP. You know what was the reason behind our such nuances like Sone ki Chidiya or 25% of the GDP? That is a very big thing. So that was on the basis of the power of agriculture sector. Our agriculture sector was specifically very good. Okay, moving forward. This is the second option, anecdotal or contemporary. When India became the world's largest export of rice in 2023, it was both a triumph and a warning. A triumph of productivity, yes, but a warning of depleting groundwater, falling soil fertility, and economic vulnerability. This duality captures the heart of India's agricultural journey, opportunity intertwined with adversity. Okay, so this can be used. Option 3 can be a contrasting canvas approach, wherein we can say that Indian agriculture feeds 1.4 billion people and employs nearly half of the workforce and contributes to around 18% to the GDP. Yet the average farmer's income remain barely one fourth of the national average. It is an enterprise of scale without prosperity, resilience without reward. This paradox of a plenty and poverty defines the saga of Indian agriculture, a massive opportunity riddled with humongous challenges. So, what I'm trying to say here is ki if we can see this, ki how there can be three different approaches, we can see that these three approaches, we can use one of these approaches and begin our essay. This is just to give you some guidance. I know many of you are capable of writing much better than this. Please do share, write such some short introductions or a structure of the essay or conclusion. Share it with us. We'll try to get back to you. What all improvement can be done, and if you have written some good points, we will share it with the others. Okay, moving next. So body, again, three main areas that we will discuss. One is how Indian agriculture presents huge opportunity to the people of India. To the people of India, and not just India but rest of the world as well. Two, how Indian agriculture is riddled with numerous challenges that has caused problems for both farmers, consumers, and the environment. Three, how to overcome these challenges. As we have earlier talked, that whenever we are mentioning any challenges, we will have to tell how can we overcome them. That is the solution approach of a civil servant. Okay, moving next. Let's come to the body part, that is part A, how Indian agriculture has huge opportunities, that is pros. So I would say the pro part should be somewhere around 40%. Let's begin with introduction. Introduction can be around 10 to 15%. Conclusion part will be 10%, 25% gone. Remaining 75% of your essay, around 40% will target what are the what are the prospects. Then another 25% we can target what are the challenges. So this comes out to be around 60-65%, and another 10 to 15% of the essay should be dedicated to bringing out the solutions to those problems that you have mentioned. Okay, so coming to the first part, Indian agriculture opportunities, around 40%, 35 to 40% is what we can take. Socio-cultural dimension, challenges in all other sectors are related directly or indirectly to the agriculture. This is very important. If you can correlate the challenges in agriculture sector with other sectors, you will understand why this sector is the most vital sector when it comes to India. Okay, how a vibrant agriculture can lead to the better performance of all other sectors. Link it with economy. Talk how, if our agriculture sector is doing good, can take example during COVID times, wherein we had observed that it was the only sector which had performed above average and was doing better than the remaining two sectors. Can link it with urban problems. Talk how congestion, slums, load infra due to inflow of migrants. Since there are not much prospects in the rural background, there is not much income that the farmers are getting. That is why they are forced to migrate. The small land holding size make it uneconomical. The economies of scale do not come into play. इसीलिए वो फोर्स है सिटीज में जाने के लिए. जब वो सिटीज में जाते हैं, अब सिटीज के इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर पे सारा स्ट्रेन पड़ रहा है. तो ये लिंकेजेस जब तुम समझोगे, इफ यू आर डिस्कसिंग माइग्रेशन, link it with farming. If you are discussing economy, link it with farmers, link it with agriculture. If you are discussing environment, link it with agriculture. Every particular topic. Now coming to social angle also, see, not this society's welfare. See, 50% of our population is dependent on agriculture. Today agriculture there is a phenomena called feminization of agriculture. Since the male population is migrating, since they are the major chunk of the migrant people, the women folk are left behind to take care of agriculture. That has led to the feminization of agriculture. So if this sector performs well, it is that every sector can do much better. Youth entering in the agri entrepreneurship, organic farming, FPO movement, these are some of the opportunities that you can mention. Women farmers are constituting 30% of the cultivators, yet they are driving dairy, horticulture success. That can be mentioned. Deccan development, that is one of the case stories from Telangana, where women-led organic farming collectives have been formed and they have been performing very well at the national stage. Okay, next. So coming to economic part, contributes 18% of GDP. That is a quite large, third largest producer of we are the third largest producer of cereals, fruits, vegetables globally. Agri business and food processing sectors have grown fast. Agri export worth 53 billion was seen in year 2023. This figure has even increased in the year 2024 if we can go through the recent data. Huge domestic market and scope for doubling farmers' income through value addition still exists. Case study in this, we can mention the famous Amul Dairy case, wherein the collective cooperative have become a major global success. We can mention Haryana's ENAM integration, how it has improved the price discovery and had led to better farmer income. Next, please. Environmental, as we have discussed, that India has 15. So what is the prospect here? India has 15 agro-diverse zones and agroclimatic zones, wherein, see, we have from deserts to ice caps, from coastal regions to most fertile lands in the world. So there are a lot of variations from, we can have any sort of crop in India. That is the beauty. We do not have one limited the scope. We have scope to have crops from diverse backgrounds. Okay. We have a lot of prospect for organic and climate resilient crops. We have promotion of, there is one thing, millets were promoted in the year 2023, wherein that was declared as international years of millet. In that, nutritional and environmental win both can be observed. Rajasthan communities water harvesting system like Johars can be mentioned. Okay. Technological dimension, how Indian agriculture presents opportunity in this technological dimension. You can mention about digital farming, precision agriculture, drones, AI, IoT, all have become major drivers in the field of agriculture. Agri tech startups are there, over 1500 agri tech startups are there. Krishi Vigyan Kendras, you can mention, digital public infrastructure for agriculture, DPIAs can be mentioned. Okay, next. Policy and institutional dimension, you can talk about the government initiatives like PM Kisan Fasal Bima Yojana, health cards, soil health cards, PM Krishi Sinchai Yojana, or the push for doubling farmers' income. These can be mentioned as far as the prospects part we are discussing. Okay, next. Global and future dimension. India can be the food bowl of the global south. Export potential in processed foods, spices, organic products. So there is a lot of international dimension has been involved. See, globally we can become the leaders in the supply chain as far as agriculture produce is concerned. If we can bring our output levels or productivity levels to equal to some of the developed states or developed countries, but in a sustainable manner, we can become the leaders in the supply chain of agricultural produce. So in whole nutshell, if you want to summarize it, what I can say is, see, it is lack of foresight or vision that Indian agriculture is discarded as a symbol of backwardness, or it is seen as a symbol of being a very laggard sector. Rather, it has prospects of becoming a major driver to growth and prosperity. India with its large fertile land, myriad of diversity and huge workforce is uniquely positioned to become the granary of the world today. So we have to understand this potential, and we have to move forward in nurturing this sector in an environment friendly, sustainable manner, so that this sector, which employs more than 50%, around 50% of our population even today, and that population minded is one of our most marginalized and down to road and population. If we can capitalize on that, it will be a great win. Next, please. So now we'll come to the second part, that is the challenges. So somewhere around 30% we can dedicate to this. Economically, you can talk about how there is a lot of fragmentation in the land holdings due to inheritance rules and due to various other factors. Most of the population being involved in farming sector, this has become, our land has become highly fragmented, with annual size of one, or average size of about 1.08 hectares as per NSSO data of 2019. This has even gone below further. We have very low productivity, only 40 to 50% of the global averages can be seen as far as productivity is concerned. See, imagine, we are the third or second largest producer of various crops and other horticulture produces. Yet despite the fact that we are only to the tune of 40 or 50% when it comes to productivity, अगर हम विकसित देशों जैसे या जहाँ पे एडवांस सिस्टम्स हैं या हम एडवांस बेटर सीड कैपेसिटी बेटर इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर है, अगर हम उनके जितना प्रोडक्टिविटी आसपास भी पहुंच जाए 80-90%, तो हमारा प्रोड्यूस वैसे ही डबल हो जाएगा, राइट? तो इनकम जैसे ही प्रोड्यूस आपका डबल होगा, इनकम डेफिनेटली विल राइज. ओके. Dependence on middlemen, price volatility, poor MSP coverage is still there, and the price discovery is driving down the income that our farmers are earning. Next, coming to the environmental factors, this is very important. There is a huge over exploitation of groundwater. So groundwater remains to be the major source for irrigation in the agriculture sector. We do not have a proper established canal system in most parts of the country. Most part of the country comes under dry land farming. Around 70% of the agricultural land is under dry land farming. So in that scenario, farmers have to either depend on rain or have to pursue water from the groundwater. So this groundwater is heavily depleted. For example, the backbone of Indian agriculture, that is ground irrigation, that is groundwater, is severely strained. Groundwater contributes to nearly 62% of irrigation and is being extracted at an unsustainable rate. Soil degradation and declining fertility in green revolution belts due to over exploitation of water intensive crops. You can see water intensive crops like rice being grown in states like Punjab, Haryana, Western UP, where there is lack of water. Rather, some dry crops could be a better solution, but due to the green being in the green revolution belt and a proper channel of MSP procurement and other infrastructure available, these areas have seen massive production of rice. Similarly, 30% of crop loss due to extreme weather events still exist as per IMD estimates. So we have to reduce this vulnerability. Okay, next. Technological thing, domain, the digital divide is there. 70% of the farmer lack access to reliable internet or data, or either they lack internet or they are not educated enough or skilled enough to use the technology or data that they have in their eyes in front of them. Poor extension services, low awareness of modern tools, low adoption of technology is another issue that Indian agriculture is facing today. Okay, moving to socio-cultural dimension. Feminization without recognition. That means that, as I told, male counterparts are leaving for migration and leaving for other cities for better or more job prospects, leaving behind female women folks, but they do not have much say. They do not have much recognition. Aging of rural workforce, migrant reducing the, yes, though again that's the issue, that most of the migrants comprise of from the age group of 20 to 35 or maybe 40. That is the most productive age group of ours, of us humans, when we are youth, when we can produce, when we can give our maximum. But these people are migrating to new cities, leaving behind the old and the women folks to take care of the agriculture. Debt burden is another issue. In lack of proper, yet even after so much of financial inclusion, India still lacks that proper financial instruments to cater to the farmers well. They are still they still have to focus or get back to money lenders who charge exorbitant rates, leading into debt trap, and this has led to even the farmer suicides. Okay, next. Policy and institutional issues, we can mention about fragmented implementation and overlapping of schemes. We have many schemes that are overlapping. There are various schemes that implementation of these schemes is slightly fragmented, not holistically implemented. There is policy bias towards right and wheat system. This is a very major thing. India is a dominant rice and wheat cultivating country. We if as per one estimate, every ton of rice consume for growing every ton of rice, there is some metric, I don't remember the exact figure, but the huge amount of water that is being used in growing 1 ton of crop, 1 ton of rice. Now when we export rice, we are basically exporting our water as well, fresh water, right? So there's one wonderful article, if you guys can search on net, how we are implicitly exporting water when we are exporting this water intensive crops like rice, sugarcane, or maybe sugar. So you can read that is a wonderful read. MSP systems are not linked to actual cost. Poor procurement is there, and it is only in few states. That is the issue, not very much effective. So the farm laws were concerned to tackle those issues. Unfortunately, we couldn't see them to come to light. Hopefully, coming soon, there will be some other measures to tackle these issues. ग्लोबल एंड फ्यूचर डायमेंशन, WTO का प्रेशर हमेशा रहेगा सब्सिडीज के ऊपर. सो देयर इज समथिंग कॉल्ड WTO subsidies that is categorized in 3 box, that is blue, green and amber box. If you guys can read about it, how India is under constant pressure to reduce the subsidies. Then there is also an issue of carbon footprint of agri export that I was explaining, how water exports are leading to a lot of issues. how rice exports of water intensive crops are leading to a lot of issues. Climate change and global market fluctuations affecting the incomes, since it will affect the exports and imports. Next, please. Again, I have so these were the some of the challenges. I have had two slides specifically for climate change. I'll quickly go through it. How India and India's agriculture stands with respect to climate change. So one is erratic monsoons and rainfall vulnerability. Around 50% of India's net sown area is still rain fed. What it means is 50% area have to solely rely on the rainfall. If there is no rainfall, if there is excess rainfall, in both the cases, the agriculture crop will be severely impacted. Increasing unpredictable monsoons, delayed onset, and unverified patterns disrupt sowing cycles and reduce crop yield. So, again, linked. Example 2023 saw a deficit monsoons in central India, hurting kharif production of pulses and oil seeds. That was related to erratic monsoon and rainfall, that is related to climate change. Coming to the temperatures and heat stress, each 1 degree rise of centigrade rise in average temperature can reduce wheat yields by 4 to 5%. Imagine if there is 2-3%, 2-3 degree centigrade rise, our crop yield will go down by 15-16%. That is a very big scare. Crops like rice, maize, and sugarcane experience heat stress during critical growth stages, reducing productivity and quality. Heat waves are also making farm labor more difficult and expensive. That is one of the dimensions. Next, please. So water scarcity and groundwater depletion, and in the wake of climate change, these are also the issues. Changing rainfall patterns and rising evaporation rates has worsened the availability of groundwater or water sources for the field of agriculture. Over extraction in the states like Punjab and Haryana has made agriculture highly unsustainable. Climate induced droughts in Maharashtra, Bundelkhand, and Rayalaseema have intensified rural distress. Increased pest attacks is another topic that is seen in the wake of climate change, wherein warmer, more humid conditions have favored the spread of pests and diseases that has lowered the crop yields. For example, in 2019, there was an invasion attack or an invasion in the Western India linked to unusual cyclonic activity in the Arabian Sea. So, if you see how these climate change can have very high impact on Indian agriculture system, it can impact its overall produce and farmer welfare. Next, please. So, ठीक है, the extreme weather events. So, with respect to climate change, cyclones, floods, and seasonal rains is again an issue. For example, from between 2015 to 2023, as per a recent study of Ministry of Agriculture data, extreme weather events have estimated loss of over 30,000 crore annually to Indian farmers. That is a very massive loss. Impact on livelihood and food security. Climate stress reduces income stability, pushing small and marginal farmers into dread and distress. Changing agroclimatic threat zones threaten India's food security, especially for the staples like rice and wheat. So these are some of the points in this dimension. Next, please. So as we had discussed the problems, next we will always discuss the solutions part. So the first thing can be shift from production to productivity plus prosperity. Focus on income, not yield. So we are focusing too much on yields. We are trying to use every measure possible to increase the yields even in some of the unsustainable zones. That can be very dangerous. So we have to move from that. We have to bring sustainability to the center. Okay, diversification and value addition. We have to move away from being a rice and wheat economy. We have to promote dryland crops like millet, ragi, jowar, bajra, pulses, oil seeds. These are some of the areas which have most prospects. See, we are one of the major importers of oil seeds today. Reason being, we have shifted most of our agricultural lands towards rice and wheat. Okay, so we have to have smart irrigation system and climate resilience cropping. What does smart irrigation means? We have to use irrigation methods like drips, sprinklers, and more efficient systems. At the same time, we have to move towards climate resilient cropping. So there are various studies like having specialized seeds for Indian specific climates, which are more drought resistant, which are more which can withstand high levels of fluctuations in the temperature, or which can mature a bit faster. All those researches must be done, and we must bring out new solutions. Okay. Agri tech, land consolidation and FPOs, that is one of the very good suggestion that we need to implement. See, there is a lot of land fragmentation. What has it led to? ज्यादा लैंड के छोटे छोटे टुकड़े होंगे तो ना तो उस पर मशीनरी चलेगी, ना ही वो इकोनॉमिकली वायबल होगा. इकोनॉमीज ऑफ स्केल विल नॉट कम इनटू प्ले. So what we have to do? We have to basically ensure कि ये land का consolidation हो. Okay. Or FPOs, farmer producer organization, is one of the ways that we can do it. You do read about it. It is an interesting thing. If we can enable our small farmers and form FPOs, it can be a win-win situation for them as well as for the industry. Agri-tech integration, we have to use the latest and the most advanced technologies available. For example, AI-based systems are there who can studies, AI-based sensors can study your soil. They can keep a track of pest attack or even herbicide attack, and they can give you timely warnings. You can have warnings related to weather and rainfall, so that farmers can have a better information to when to sow the crops, when to water the plants, when to use pesticides, so that excessive use will be reduced. Okay. Education and skilling is one area where we need to educate our farmers to use the modern agriculture, modern technology, and establish entrepreneurship, entrepreneur incubation centers in rural areas. Sustainable policy mix, we need to balance our subsidies in a way that we need to move away from rice and wheat economy. We need to make it a more mixed and a diverse cropping system. See, the जितना ज़्यादा diverse रहेगा, उतना ज़्यादा chances है कि we will be in a better shape to tackle any unforeseen or unforeseeable or like कुछ sudden attack आया, climate बारिश नहीं हुआ, heat wave आया, तो since rice एक crop है जो हमारा थोड़ा damage हो गया, लेकिन हमारे पास ज्वार, बाजरा, रागी, मिलेट या कुछ ऐसा crop है जो grow कर रहा है, तो पूरी country एक साथ suffer नहीं करेगी. Right. Sustainable policy, this is the most important thing. We have to ensure कि जो गलती हमने ग्रीन रेवोल्यूशन में की थी, we had gone to increase productivity. गलती नहीं थी मैं कहूँगा, because at that particular time when we were forced to pursue PL 480 scheme and import very poor grain quality grain from some foreign countries, we were forced to increase production to ensure that we do not sleep hungry. So in that scenario, it was fine, but it has led to a lot of environmental and ecological problems today. We need to tackle those. We need to increase our productivity. We need to increase our production, but to a level that they are sustainable, in ways that it is sustainable. Okay. Social equity, we need to secure land rights for women, incentivize youth farmers. We need to see youths, as I told earlier, agriculture is seen as a symbol of backwardness. Even in जो आप शहरों में देखेंगे, agriculture is seen as a symbol of laggard. If someone is doing agriculture, he is seen as a poor or a like ये तो बहुत इसको कुछ नहीं कर पाया तो खेती कर रहा है. That is wrong. We need to bring in new youths. उनको हमें प्रेरित करना पड़ेगा कि एग्रीकल्चर को लें, और सिर्फ एग्रीकल्चर फार्मिंग ना करें, वो एंटरप्रेन्योर्स बने, फूड प्रोसेसिंग करें. बहुत सारे एवेन्यूज हैं. राइट. नेक्स्ट प्लीज. So this was the solution part. You can have many other solutions. I have given a few. List बहुत exhaustive है, since I have to wrap up. I cannot go on and take all the points. कुछ conclusion 2-3 हमने लिए हैं. एक visionary हो सकता है आपके लिए. For example, visionary point of view से आप बोल सकते हैं कि from survival to prosperity, the plow that once symbolized survival can now become a tool of prosperity if guided by science, sustained by policies, and strengthened by the spirit of innovation. India stands at an inflection point where technology meets tradition and where the soil beneath our feet can fuel a $1 trillion economy. The challenge before us is not merely to feed a nation, but to nourish hope, dignity, and sustainability. If we can reimagine agriculture as a sunrise sector of innovation rather than a sunset story of struggle, Indian farmers will not just grow crops, they will grow the nation's future. That is a wonderful line that you can use. Next, one other alternative can be an optimistic or a future oriented conclusion. The next green revolution, if the green revolution made India self, the next green revolution के बारे में, if the green revolution made India self sufficient in food, the next revolution must make her farmers self sufficient in dignity and income. The coming era should not be about growing more, but about growing better, conserving every drop of water, enriching every acre of soil, and valuing every hand that tills it. With digital tools, inclusive markets, and responsive governance, Indian agriculture can transform from subsistence to sustainability, from vulnerability to value. When policy vision meets grassroots innovation, the fields of India will once again turn golden, and not just with the grain but with prosperity. This is one again a suggestion you can use. Next, please. Another conclusion 3 or option 3 can be about Gandhian and ethical conclusion, how it is not just a matter of right that or a matter of concern that we should do it, it is a matter of ethics as well. Okay, nurturing the soul of India, as Mahatma Gandhi said, the soul of India lies in its villages. The heartbeat of soul is agriculture, that is silent, patient, and enduring. To strengthen our farmer is to strengthen our civilization. To uplift farmers is to uplift our humanity. The fields of India do not merely produce food, they cultivate culture, community, and continuity. True progress will come when the farmer is not seen as a beneficiary of welfare but as a partner in nation building. The health of our agriculture is the health of a nation, and nurturing that soul is the highest form of patriotism that we can display. So this is another alternative that we can use. So I have given you 3 suggestions. You guys can, we can use some facts and figures. There are some of the facts and figures that we can use, and these are on the screen. Guys, please prepare for some facts. I leave it to you. Do not try to overload yourself with so many facts. Just keep some 5 to 6 facts in each theme that can be used, not only in essays but also in GS. Okay, so go through these facts. These are some crucial facts as in the agricultural field. Next. I have also brought up some quotes wherein from this field. These are some of the quotes that I found good that I have mentioned here. That this list again is not exhaustive. You can use much better. You can prepare for 3-4 quotes in each topic and keep in hand and revise it 8 to 10 times so that you are able to produce it in the exam. For example, we can mention how the agriculture is the backbone of India, but the spine that holds it straight is being under the weight of neglect. We conquered hunger as a nation, but not despair in the hearts of those who feed it. The next revolution must secure the farmers, not just the food. India's future harvest will depend on the monsoons from the sky, will not depend on the monsoons from the skies, but on the reforms of our mind. Okay, next. The invisible hero, the farmer in India's most silent patriot, guarding her food security without a uniform, fighting his battle with the plow instead of a sword. So these are some of the suggestive quotes that you can use. Okay, next. So the next session will be on the theme women. So we are trying to have those 14-15 themes I had planned. Any other themes that you guys would like to me to have it to take a session on, please do write in the comments. If there are sufficient people, we'll try to have that theme. Okay. Thank you. That was all from my side. And one last thing that I want to say is, some days you won't believe in yourself. On those days, believe in the version of you who started. So with this, I would like to end my talk saying that, see, you guys are working really hard. I can see so many comments from you guys. It is very uh, heartening to see that you guys are working really hard, but do not stop. This is a battle of perseverance, not of 1 or 2 days. It is a battle that you have to fight for more than 1 year. You have to keep a consistent performance, go through the sessions, have a proper plan, and come up with a better solution. Once again, while I am ending, I like you to request to go to the Telegram channel, upload your answer scripts. Try to not be exhaustive, write clearly, try to write in a time limit that we are allotted, that is around 1.5 hours for UPSC, and for state PCS examinations it can be 1 hour. For example, in Bihar Public Service Commission there are 3 essays. You can take 1 hour each. Write a essay. I'll try to evaluate some of those copies and give you a feedback which I feel it's decent. With this, I would like to end my talk. I would like to say all the very best for your examinations, for your preparations. Keep studying hard, keep pushing. Thank you. Thank you very much.